All right, guys, in this video, what's the history of Sosúa?
Yeah. Welcome to Compai's Expat channel. Everything expat.
Not many people are aware that Sosúa was owned by United Fruit. United Fruit used to have a plantation where they used to grow bananas and some pineapple. But if you know anything about the weather down here, we could get tons of rain or we could get no rain. So it wasn't the most productive plantation that United Fruit owned. They used to bring their ships right into Sosúa Bay. If you remember what Playa Sosúa looked like before the storms of 2017, you would remember that the beach was much narrow at the Albate side. And there used to be a lot more sand on the Chirimaco side. You used to be able to see the pillars of the old dock where the United Fruit ships used to dock up, where they would load up the fruit. So during the Depression, when United Fruit was having trouble, like everybody else during the Depression, they decided to unload or walk away from some of their overseas territories. One of them was Sosúa. Because of the rain and not having enough consistent rain, the production wasn't as good as other areas, so United Fruit gave up the land. Well, Trujillo, the dictator, took the land over. He just basically said, hey, thanks for the gift, United Fruit. It's ours, or mine. So he took over the land, he owned the land. So the Dominican Republic used to be bigger than what it is today. It used to go over into the Central Valley, which is the most productive valley on the island. Not the valley everybody knows by Santiago, it's actually in Haiti. But the Haitians outnumbering the Dominicans just kept settling in this area. And eventually they outnumbered the Haitians. So then there were some skirmishes along the lines. People said Haiti said it's ours, the DR said it's theirs. It came to a head, and President Woodrow Wilson the Americans, we had troops in both capitals to make sure the banks got paid, the banks out of New York got their loans paid back. So he basically said, this river, this is the new border, this is how it's going to be. American troops were in both countries. It was so easy for us to instill what we wanted. The New York bankers got paid. We got a defined border. Dominicans gave up that land. So when the Haitians started coming over the new border and settling in that area, it created a problem. That's when Trujillo sent in the troops and said, you need to go back on your side. Well, there was a small massacre, and basically they killed a bunch of Haitians. So the Dominican Republic was not in the best standings in the world stage at this point because of that massacre. So now we need to go over to Europe on what's going on at that time period. In that time period, you had the Third German Kingdom, what people know as the Third Reich. Reich means kingdom, the Dritte Reich, the Third Kingdom. Hitler is expelling all the Jews at this point. Well, Roosevelt calls a conference in Evian, France, and the question is, what is the solution to the Jewish question? The question is, well, who's going to take them? At this point, everybody took as many Jews as they were willing to take. Nobody's taking anymore. We're Britain, France, the United States, even Cuba is not allowing them to come in. So Trujillo, to get in good graces, sends his brother Rafael to this conference, and he says, hey, we'll take them, but they can't be doctors, they can't be lawyers, they can't be pharmacists, they gotta be farmers. That's how the Jewish city of Sosúa came to be, because then they sent a guy on Dr. Rosen, who I'm gonna do a video on who is Dr. Rosen, basically went over to all the camps, not the concentration camps, the refugee camps that were outside of the Greater Reich, They were in Italy, they were in Switzerland, there was even some in China. And they got the refugees to come over here and settle. So that's how the Jews were able to settle in this area, because Trujillo, who owned the land, after he took it over after United Fruit left, was able to homestead the Jewish refugees. And they're the ones who set up Sosúa as we know it today. In fact, Producto Sosúa on the highway is a company that they started. Thanks for watching. Always remember, keep private personal and personal private. Guys, please subscribe, like. Peace out.